And we're back today with chapter 2, right? We're in Liberate, your journey to lasting financial independence. We're kind of reading and discussing the second chapter for today. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. Once again, I'll just be reading from the screen, or I have my copy here that I'll be reading from that I have some notes in, and we'll go through. I'll cut this up into probably 2 parts. This chapter's not too long. So chapter 2, purposeful financial independence. I like this quote attributed to Mark Twain. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And that's what we're going to talk about, is what is your why, what is your purpose today. Financial independence is a path to purpose. You must first become FI in your mind before you become FI in your bank account. And I mentioned that in as we were going through chapter 1. If you don't believe it, you won't achieve it. You have to have your mind right first. Okay? I believe that everyone is a unique individual with a divine purpose. I believe that the quicker you can achieve FI, the more options and opportunities you'll have to spend your time and resources fulfilling your purpose and helping others. And I talked about that in chapter 1 as far as the definition behind financial independence, right? You're having enough income, passive income to pay for your lifestyle or your expenses, so then you can spend the majority of your time fulfilling your purpose, helping others, and having that joy in your life. The 2 great commandments are to love God and love thy neighbor as thyself. We are our brother's keeper. This notion is ultimately the key to our happiness. It seems strange because you would think that the more that we focus inward on ourselves, the happier we will be. However, the fact remains that the more we help others achieve happiness, the greater our joy is. And I've experienced that in my life. I know that it is true. I hope that as you apply what you've learned in this book, your life will be better for it, and you will achieve greater happiness and purpose. Achieving FI gives you and your family options and opportunities. Ultimately, those options and opportunities allow you to fulfill your life's purpose. Okay, so how do you find your life's purpose? Your purpose is the reason you exist. What is your purpose? It should be the reason you get out of bed every morning, excited to start the day. My purpose definitely gets me out of bed every morning, ready to try my best and make a difference. Your purpose, too, will motivate and inspire you and your family to get financially independent. When you understand your life's purpose, you know how to act, you know your next steps, and you know what it will take to achieve success. How do you find your purpose? This knowledge may take some time and reflection. Your purpose might not appear quickly, but it will resonate strongly within your soul once found. I suggest writing down your thoughts as you look inward. Start this exercise by asking yourself some of the following questions. Make sure you can capture the thoughts that come to your mind as you do this exercise. So we know that I don't want to, there's no pressure here, right? There's no pressure. But this is an exercise you should try to do probably a few times. You want to be in a quiet place where you don't have a lot of distractions, and you want to have whether you're typing or writing, have some way to jot down your thoughts and go through some of these questions. Now, some of these questions may resonate with you. Some might not be as really as impactful, but that's okay. This is not an endless list of questions to determine your why. It's just kind of a starting point. But let's go ahead and go through these questions. And if right now, just as an exercise, if you want to kind of pause as we read each question and kind of think about it and write things down immediately, that might be helpful too. So we'll just go through these questions, starting with question 1. What activities, ideas, or causes get your heart pounding in a good way? What makes you feel energized, and excited, and alive? What activities, tasks, or hobbies absorb your full attention? Okay, so those are some things to start thinking about, jotting down in your notebook. Number 2, in what way would you change the world for the better? What can you do to make a positive impact on your loved ones, your community, or your industry? Number 3, can you pinpoint your principles and core values? We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in this chapter. How do you use your values to guide your behaviors, actions, and decision making? Number 4, what activities, topics, or skills click with you? List your personal strengths and talents. Number 5, what are the problems, issues, or causes that drive you to seek a solution and advocate for change? What are you passionate about? Number 6, what does success mean to you? How do you define happiness? Do you have a benchmark to indicate when you have achieved success or a ruler that measures your happiness level? How does your checklist of success or your standard of measurement for happiness align with your actions, decision-making, and goals? Number 7, what fills your heart? Recall days when you felt deeply satisfied and fulfilled. What were you doing that gave you this feeling? Number 8, who are your role models? What intrinsic qualities do they have, and what behaviors do they model that you find most appealing? Thinking about why you would like to emulate them can provide you with additional clarity of purpose. After you are gone, how do you think others will describe you? What will they remember you by the most? Do you think you would be happy with what they say? Consider how you want others to remember you to help you uncover what you want your legacy to be. Number 10, if you could remove money from the equation, what would you do with your life? If all your living expenses were covered and you did not need to earn a paycheck, how would you spend your day? Number 11, what reoccurring themes or patterns do you notice in your life? Look for common threads in your experiences and interests. Are they pointing you toward a central purpose? Number 12, what activities or roles make you feel most authentic to yourself? Identify when you feel most like yourself and at ease without trying to meet others' expectations. If you've never thought about your purpose, don't expect it to come immediately. If it does, great. If not, don't worry, it will. The more you think and capture the answers to these questions, the more your purpose will come to light. It always does. I talk to folks sometimes, kind of as a side note, just about pondering. And pondering is to think deeply on a subject over a period of time where you don't have to feel stressed to come up with the solution immediately. But as you continue to think about it over and over and over a longer period of time, things will start to come to you, answers that you need to figure things out. So you're kind of pondering. This is a exercise in pondering to some degree. You see, your purpose is already there. You just have to find it and articulate it into thoughts and words, which are powerful and can change lives. Your life will change, too, as you think, talk, and act on the things you learn in this book. Your purpose can be summarized into a paragraph, but eventually you'll probably be able to shorten it to 1 or 2 powerful sentences. This sentence will be your focus throughout the rest of your life. If you are not experiencing true joy and have not found your true purpose, keep searching. It will come. As a personal example, you might have already guessed that one of my purposes is to strengthen and inspire families to become financially independent through financial literacy and humanitarian service. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stop right there and then pick up in another segment and start talking about vision and mission. Thanks for being here today. Really appreciate you, and we'll see you real soon.